fertilizer plant's going today. It smells like shit outside. Ugh. Gross. Moving on. Morning, Kareem. Doing all right. We got push day today. Yes, sir. All right. We're going to start with bench. Oh, God. My legs are killing me from yesterday. It's a good thing. That's a good thing for sure. I definitely feel it. Oh. I also stepped on something yesterday. I don't know if it was a shard of glass or what. I can feel it every time I walk. I tried to get it out and I couldn't find it. So that's been annoying. Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and get warm up. Morning, Severs. Get a little music going for this. Today I'm feeling Aftershock by Motorhead. Penultimate Motorhead album. Okay, this is a good choice. Okay. A little soreness. We'll warm up a little bit. I think maybe jump rope or something. Get that heart rate elevated a bit. Big ass fucking fart right there. Alright. 35, 125, 215, 265. So let's see, what did we do last time on this? Alright. Hey, Supernatural, welcome on in. Have not seen you in a hot minute. Good to see you. Have you changed your schedule? Cause like I'm never able to raid you anymore. What did we do last time on this? Alright, a set of 10, 2 sets of 8, a set of 7 on, 265. Alright. Let's see if we can't hit another set of 10 and then do a little bit more on the following sets. Oh, my laptop caught on fire. Holy shit. Damn, girl. No wonder you've been off the air. Sorry to hear that. You can try doing it on your phone if your phone's capable enough. It's not perfect, but Beats nothing. Just a suggestion. All right. Let's do this. Right shoulder just doesn't quite feel at 100% still. That's frustrating. Don't really know what I can do about that. Is what it is. Yeah, I got wireless headphones. One of my wonderful fans took care of that one on the wish list. I'm very grateful for that. Oh, I can feel it in my shoulder. Morning, Big Red. Good to see you. Oh. That's going to make this workout a little bit tougher. Just going to have to push through. And if my shoulder protests too much, I'll just stop. There's really no other way to go about it. All right. I'd like to get 9 here. We'll see. That's going to be hard. A little air in here. Let's not more specific for this. All right. These fucking blasts, 9 reps. Let's go. Let's go. Morning, Metal. Good to see you. Which I want to yell and scream. What Kevin did yesterday, I'm going to. You're in a rebuilding phase. And you're trying to fix JR screw ups. Big Red, I do not understand what team you're referring to there. Clearly, the Titans. Clearly, Malik Willis was not the answer. How do you feel about Will Levis? I gotta know, because I mean, you're up and down on him in Kentucky. Definitely was not a first round pick. How do you feel if Levis is? Would you get him in the second? Or here we go. not bad, but not an improvement. Y'all traded up to get Levis? Ooh. I mean, the stupid thing was going for Malik Willis last year. I don't get the point of that. Y'all gave him what, 2 games? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really understand what Tennessee was thinking there. Doesn't really make any sense to me. But yeah, I think I stepped on something sharp, and some sort of puncture in my foot. I don't know if it's embedded in there or not. It feels like it is. Because, you know, when I lean on my foot or I'm walking on it, I can feel it. There's nothing I can really do about it. Only gave up a third for next year and swap spots to the second and third rounds to the Cards. Ugh. I guess you must really like Levis. I'm not quite sure I follow the line of reasoning there between you and me. All right. Third set. Here we go. Damn it! Only 7. Weak! I don't like that. Do not like that at all. Well, the third rounder, we drafted a running back out of Tulane coming off of 2 ACL surgeries? For a running back? Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying Tulane wasn't great. But 2 ACLs for a running back? I guess is that y'all's long-term Derrick Henry replacement? What was... I feel like the Titans had other weaknesses. I don't understand that one. That one's a question mark to me. I don't get that. I'm not happy with that. I'm feeling pretty sore. I'm going to try for, if I can get 8 here, that salvages this. Matches last time where I did 10, 8, 8, 7. Right now we're at 10, 8, 7. Passing down back what Jared Nevins is supposed to be. Well, Yeah, no, I don't understand what Tennessee's doing there. It doesn't make any sense. You can't sit here and tell me running back was one of your biggest team needs, because it wasn't. I'll tell you, you want to talk about a team trying to focus itself around the ground game and do things right? I will give credit to Atlanta here. The Falcons drafted Bijan, who, again, I don't like the Longhorns, that's well known, but Bijan is the best running back I've seen come out of that university since Ricky Williams. And I think then Atlanta went and drafted another really nice piece from Syracuse. I forget what his name is, some French guy. I think it's Bergeron. But drafted another really good lineman out of Syracuse to shore up their O-line even more, try to define themselves as a ground-based attack. It's a really good idea. Hey, what's up, Ball of the Yard? And Hazal, sorry. What up? Big Red. If the Titans are tanking, they need to just trade Derrick Henry. I know that would cause a miniature riot in the fans, but if you're gonna tank, just fucking embrace it, you know? Because it's not like the AFC South is a strong division, so I don't know. With the Titans, I look at the Titans, and that is a team that screams first round exit at best. How's your workout going on so far? Not brilliantly. We've done 3 sets of bench. This is our 4th. Last time I did set of 10. This is 265. Set of 10, set of 8, set of 8. So far I've done a set of 10, set of 8, set of 7. So I'm doesn't appear to be any stronger. Then again, I need to maybe be a little bit less harsh on myself. I am on a cut cycle, and you know, maintenance is really the best you can hope for when you're on that. Very hard to gain strength on a cut, especially at my level. You can do that with noob gains, but it's tough. Ball of the Yard, welcome on in. Why don't you can tell some of the other tree guys in football chat to come in here and hang out. I'd love to talk to y'all. I feel like I don't really ever get to see y'all on here. All right, let's go for a little quiet riot. Hit this for our 4th set. Alrighty. I'm buried in my office. General audit was coming, so double checking on the payment vouchers in 2022, and that's not fun. Ouch. Tough break, my guy. Just hoping things get better for you from there. At least the Reds got a big win on the West Coast versus the trash pile known as the A's. Yeah, those are 2 minor league teams masquerading as major league teams right there. Oakland is pathetic this year, but Cincinnati's not much better. Sickos League type stuff indeed. His fans were chanting, "Sell the team" during the game. Yeah. No, the Reds have abysmal ownership, and the Athletics also have abysmal ownership. The owners of both of those teams are abject failures. They treated their fans like garbage, and then they're shocked when they have the lowest attendance in Major League Baseball. It's no fucking surprise. Even the Nationals are doing better than y'all, and the Nationals suck ass this year. It's really simple. It's because those 2 teams are what I would call disinvested. Ownership has failed to invest a real amount of money to make them competitive. Colorado would be another example of one of these disinvested teams, where the ownership does not feel that it is worth trying. They want to collect their money, and that's it. Are you familiar with any side hustle websites who might need any assistance in finance? Are you talking like accountancy? What do you mean by finance? Investing? Can you specify a little bit further what you're talking about there, Hazal? All right, here we go. Let's do fourth set. Seven. Trash. Fucking garbage. I hate it. No accountant? Are you saying finance that is not accounting, or finance, or no finance that is accounting? All right. Final set of bench for the day. We're going to move to the NFL combine weight. This is 225 pounds. We'll hit that. Yeah. I may set up. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna set up shoulder flies after the fact. We'll hit that. That'll be good. There we go. Beautiful. Yes. Now, what did we do with shoulder flies last time? All right. Work as a full-time secretary, but as a finance assistant on weekends, so I want any side accountant job hustle till I get my master's in project management and apply to higher positions. Well, now, unfortunately, the ideal time to have been doing that has just passed, and that would be tax season. A lot of accounting guys I know pick up side hustles during tax season and help people do their taxes. And you can make pretty decent money doing that. If you know the ins and outs of the US tax code, that's a skill and you can make money on that. Let's see what song do we want to go with here. All right. See, who made me... Which one of y'all made me do 30 push-ups during the middle of my bench? Bruh, come the fuck on. Game over, Mexican. Not cool, bro. I'll give them to you, but not this moment. We got a big set coming up here. This is our final bench set, so you're gonna have to wait on those. Bruh, why is it y'all always save making me do push-ups for my bench day, man? Y'all terrible. It's good. I need to quit being a little bitch about it. I offer that for points, and y'all step up. So fair enough. Fair enough. I hate it, but they're good for me. Oh, hold up. We got a first-time chat. Hyperlog says, or Hyperlou says, probably come to Texas from a different country, but I don't know that I should join a gym club over there or just my gym club in my home. Any advice? Well, how long are you going to stay in Texas? It depends on a million things. Where in Texas are you going to be? How close will any gyms be to where you're choosing to locate? How expensive will those gyms be? What is it in the gym that you typically do? You know, there's tons of questions. So y'all get the 30 push-ups, and if I forget about them, just remind me, and I will do them. That's only fair. All right, but I do need some. I need some music for this. Let's go for a little more Quiet Riot. Hey, hold a rocket. Are you crypto or GameStop? With a name like that, I gotta know. All right. Last set on bench, it's 225, 35, 125, 215, 225. Let's fucking do this. We got other shit we need to do today. All right. I want to rep this. Like, I want to get this fucking good. Here we go. Well, come on! Ah! 14. Let's go! I'm a fighter, and I'm a keeper. I ain't a loser, and I ain't no weaker. I got the boys to make a noise. I never let up. Join the pack. Feel the crack. Well, now you're here. There's no way back. Bang your head. Metal health will drive you mad. Bang your head. All right, what we got in close grip? What did you do last time? The joy, you're crazy. Metal health will cure you, man. All right, 195. And we did that at 4 sets of 10 at 195. Shit, okay. Okay. That'll be tough. Game on. Let's go for sets of 11. All right. In the meantime, we'll do a set of shoulder flies. Thanks for the lurk, Don CT. And Hyperio, thank you for the follow. Hold a rocket. Thanks for the first time chat. Gamer Strongman, do I compete? No, I do not. Just online with friends. Yeah. So, I actually do a fair amount of investing myself. If you couldn't tell by the little timer in the bottom left section of the screen, I'm part of the FIRE movement, which is about retiring early. And you got to invest to do that. Mental health will drive you, man. Bang your head. Ah, get your straight jackets on tonight. All right. Now, I don't compete. So, a lot of people ask me why I lift. It's funny talking about this song. I don't lift because I want to. I do want to, but I lift because I need to. This is my stress relief. This is my mental health clinic. These fucking barbells and these fucking weights and the kettlebells and the dumbbells and the squat rack, you will not find a better fucking therapist. You go, you lift, you let your body do the talking instead of your brain. All of a sudden, things become a whole lot simpler and you can see a whole lot more clearly. The gym is mental health in a lot of ways, man. You gotta have some sort of physical release. I don't care what it is, it doesn't have to be lifting. It can be a sport, it can be jogging, swimming, whatever. But, in my experience, very often, physical activity is a far better therapist than any shrink sitting on a fucking couch saying, and how does that make you feel? All right? Good talk. You need a therapist? Bullshit, you need a squat rack. Let's do another set. And again, if therapy works for you, hey, more power to you. For me, therapy is a waste of time. The gym actually helps. Nothing's more frustrating than lifting heavy when you can't due to injuries, and that tanks mental health. Oh, absolutely. Injuries suck, and you have to just let them heal. I'm definitely getting sore in the shoulders today, so we'll see how much harder I push this, but close grip this time. Let's go. That's all right. I can't expect perpetual improvement when I'm on a cut cycle. I'll live with sets of 10. Do you lift less weight than you would if you had a spotter? Probably. Am I in bulking season or cut? I'm cutting right now. With cutting, unless you're in the noob gain section, which means if you're over 25% body fat, you can cut and still gain muscle. If you're where I am, right, 12, 13, 14, 15%, the best you're really gonna get is maintenance of your current strength levels while you lose the fat. Then you gotta focus on the bulk. Hamsturger says, shut up, Dad. Whatever. Yeah, no, a spotter will always make you a little bit more likely to push it a bit further, but I'm used to it. I know how to fail without a spotter on bench. I have at 350 before. I just, that just takes experience. All right. What is the most challenging problem that you had to solve as an ME? Okay, this is a great question. I'm gonna stop the music for a second. So, the most intellectually challenging thing I ever did as an ME, Class-wise, got differential equations was an absolute bitch and a half, as was dynamics. But the most intellectually difficult thing I've probably ever done as an ME was Formula SAE senior year of college. I did a lot of the wind tunnel testing simulations, CFD analysis, which required the use of supercomputers. That was extremely difficult. That was a lot of hours spent on that. Rather frustratingly, I've done a lot less design and engineering work in my career than I'd have hoped. In the nuclear industry these days, it's not a particularly challenging job, but it's burdensome in the sense that the regulatory environment is extremely harsh. And you have to deal with a lot of red tape and regulation around anything you want to do. Fluid dynamics, yes, because technically air is classified as a fluid. You have an ME? No, ME, mechanical engineering degree. Do you lift less weight? Yeah, all right, answer that. Wish I had a professor like you in college. Your explanation is on point and clear. How am I feeling today? A little bit sore. Rested well though, so we're getting through it. All right, I also see we have 32 people in chat. Whenever we hit 30, that means we get handstand push-ups at the end of the lift. So congratulations, everyone. Remind me of that if I forget. Let's do another set. Shoulders are the sorest, actually. The chest feels pretty good. Triceps feel all right. I may not push shoulders as heavy today just because they're feeling particularly sore. Let's do another set of shoulder raises. Again, this is only 30 pounds on the dumbbells. It's not quite as heavy as it otherwise would be. But yeah, no, of course. I love it when my audience is active and asks me questions, especially the first time chatters. Love it, love it, love it, love it. That's the main reason. So right, y'all, I could do these workouts without these headphones, just put Van Halen and Motorhead on the speakers and be perfectly content. The reason I stream these is because, frankly, look at me. Okay, clearly I'm doing something right in here. I'd love to help get you guys to where you want to go, give you advice, so that way you can avoid the mistakes I've made over the years. Look, I've been lifting weights since 2008. That's 15 years of lifting. I know a thing or two. Do I know everything? Fuck no. I'm not Arnold. I'm not Perry Rader. I'm not any of the great bodybuilders of all time, but I do know a thing or two. I'm not JC Highs. I'm not, any of those incredible lifters. But I'm also not a novice at this point. I generally know what I'm doing. I'm not going to do 30 handstand push-ups. Jesus Christ. No, I wish. I'll do as many as I can, which after a push day is always tough. It's usually, if I can get 6 or 7, I'm doing pretty well. All right, let's do another set here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15. Okay. Now the Bruins going to blow it in Game 7 versus Sunshine Kitty Cats. I'm going to laugh so hard if Boston blows it. That would be funny as hell. That would be almost 2019 Lightning bad. Gamer Strongman, when is the 500-pound deadlift coming? Not for a few months at minimum. So my PR for deadlifts, and I actually have it clipped on Twitch, is 435. That was at the end of my last bulk cycle. I'm not planning on bulking probably until the fall. This is going to be a lot of morning crash override. Good to see you. It's probably going to be a lot of cut, a lot of maintenance. You guys aren't going to really see the weight go up a lot higher than it already is. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway. Yo, Hex Hector, welcome on back. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. On my the stream stop for a minute, hopefully. Looking so muscle. I appreciate that. All right, let's do another set. Let's do another set. Come on. It's so simple when I jumped out on the road. Got no loving home. Got nobody waiting at home. Not bad. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Woo. Woo.
Y'all thought it was stuck on my chest for a minute there, didn't you? I know. Sometimes it's hard to fathom, but I really do know what I'm doing. Yeah, in 15 years of experience, you don't have to worry about that.
If you're streaming today, Crash Override, kick ass. If you're still streaming, when I get finished, I'll probably give you a raid. Because you're always in here. I love that. When other streamers come in and hang out, you're pretty good about that. So if you're still streaming, whenever I finish, it's gonna be a while, but if you're still live at that point, I could come give you a raid. What you gonna stream today? No. Look, it's mutually beneficial, right? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you're in here reliably, I'm much more likely to raid you. It's your nurse. How you doing? All right. Let's go for a little Van Halen. A little more. All right. Oh. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. No, that's 12. 15. I think. Well, right, I get that, Crash, but what are you going to be streaming today? I want to know what I'm getting my audience into. It's a streamer winds up tied with who he meets, and he's unemployed. Unemployed. Oh, and the cradle will rock. Yes, the cradle will rock. And I say, rock on. By the way, y'all, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, come say hi in the Discord. Seriously, I'm there. I'm pretty reliable to reach on the Discord. And for those of you, and this isn't aimed at anyone, because I've had lots of people do it. It's okay. Y'all don't know. But for those of you who like to try and talk with me by DMs only, right? We just passed 1,250 fans, right? So if everyone tries to DM me, asking me how my day is and how things are going, I can't respond to everyone. That just doesn't work. So if you're just having a general conversation and there's not something private you need to share with me, that's why the Discord exists, because then I can answer it once for everyone and everyone is satisfied. And again, I appreciate all the well wishes that I get in DMs, and it's fantastic, you know, but it's just there's a limit
there's a limit to how much of that I can do every single day, you know? All right. Come on. Have you seen Junior's grades? Van Halen. Ooh. Come on. Sketchy at that last one. Came up a bit too far back. If he meets and he's unemployed and his folks are fucking pissed off. Cradle will rock. Yeah, the cradle will rock. And I say rock on. Here we go. Last set of shoulder flies. Tilt this up just a touch. Come on, 5 more. All right, so Jovan mentioned the traps. How do I get these bad boys up here? Real simple, okay? The hex bar behind here. This is a trap bar or a hex bar. You can use it to deadlift, but you can also use it to shrug. Hold them fuckers up here and let time under tension do its thing. You'll develop them traps. The other one I like doing, and you can do shrugs with anything. I just find trap bars the best. But mix it up. Do shrugs with a straight bar. Do shrugs with dumbbells. The other one, and this is my secret sauce when it comes to the traps, vertical flies. Take either dumbbells or a straight bar, hold it in front of you, come up like this, and back down. You'll be amazed at what it does. Jan JSS, welcome on in, by the way. Okay. By the way, I went and looked up who the guy off of Van Halen's 5150 cover is. His name is Rick Levante or something like that. He's a fucking bodybuilder. He actually ran a bodybuilding show on ESPN in the 1980s. And I did a little bit more digging, and he said, yeah, the 3 days where I was shooting that cover for Van Halen were 3 of the wildest party days I ever had. Because that was Van Halen kind of right at the year or two after their peak where they were looking to get back on the top with Sammy Hagar as their singer. I know a lot of people have a downer on Sammy Hagar, but you know what? 5150 is every bit as good as any other album Van Halen made. I'll put, hell, I might even say 5150 was better than their first. And I love Van Halen 1. That album's amazing. There's like not a single bad song on 5150. You know what? Now I got it in my head. I want to play 5150. But yeah, if y'all got advice, y'all want to know anything, and go look up 5150 by Van Halen, the album cover, to see exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I would like to look like. In that image in particular, you'd see the dude's lats, it's just a fucking wall, right? You can see mine a little bit, but clearly I do not have the lats to match my pecs, and I want to fix that. So I've really been hitting that hard in the gym on pull days. Anyway, let's hit this. So we're done, let's see here, 5 sets of chest, 3 sets of tries, and 4 sets of shoulders so far. Come We're going slow. I need to speed it the fuck up. This will be our fourth set of tries. Life's never straight and narrow, unless your love's tried and true. Here we go. Come on. That's 10. I'll take it. I'll take it. That's not bad. All right, so you got chest flies incline. Let's hit skull crushers next. We'll hit skull crushers and thinking Arnold press. We'll do skull crushers, Arnold press, chest flies, I think. We'll hit those kind of back to back to back. Still we try, win or lose, take the highs with the blues. That doesn't work. There we go. Always one more. You're never satisfied. Lighting's really bringing out your chest today. I appreciate that crossbow. Yeah, baby. Meet you halfway. You just know what that means. Speaking of lighting, I'm gonna probably get myself, if nobody gets it on my wish list soon, I'll probably get that little ring light, because that's really gonna make my features pop in the Q&A sections where I'm on that standing desk. Because right now the lighting isn't ideal for that. There we go, 2, 3. Oh, okay, holy shit. My spine popped in like 3 places there where I just laid down. Okay, that did not feel great. Ouch. Carry on. Do Arnold press. Just curious, you thinking of dying Mount Hawk? No. This is already a pretty radical thing to do in my very conservative workplace. Dying it might be a little bit too attention seeking. Howdy, welcome. Thanks for the first time chat. I'm gonna do chest flies. I'm gonna do Arnold press. But if I'm gonna do Arnold press, I have to change the angle a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Now I gotta face this way. So, what is an Arnold press? An Arnold press is a modified shoulder press where you start at a supinated grip and end at a pronated grip. All right? That twisting motion hits your shoulders differently. Try it, and don't do it with a lot of weight. Go slower for more reps and lighter, and you'll be amazed at what it does. Look, if it's called an Arnold press, it probably means it fucking works. Never, ever diss the Austrian oak. Come on. One more. Oh, that kills. Yes, please. Welcome in. Reisigbund? I can't tell if that's German, but it sounds German. Welcome. Glad to have you. And Kareem, thanks as always for being the wonderful welcome mod. Oh, that's why you're a good mod, Kareem. You're here. You always have positive shit to say. And yes, put that cookie down! Now! And people, okay, this is one other thing I want to get off my chest. People love to dismiss guys like Arnold because Arnold was on gear. And Arnold admits it, like, right, clearly, you're looking like that, you're probably taking steroids. But steroids don't just automatically make you grow muscles. Steroids only work if you're pushing yourself to your absolute limit. As a result, it doesn't invalidate, right, Arnold using gear does not invalidate the incredible amounts of work he put in over the years, nor does that invalidate the work guys like Stallone did. The only problem I have with people who choose to use steroids, the only problem is when they lie about it to try and convince people, right, out of vanity, that gains that they got on gear can be done naturally. That I have a problem with, and it's for the same reason that I have a problem, right, that a lot of women, and rightfully so, should have a problem with models airbrushing themselves. It presents an unrealistic picture to people who are trying to just do better. So people, no way is that Christian Sandoval. Welcome back in. My man, haven't seen you in a minute. How are things going, Christian? I hope they're going well. Let's get a little bit more music on. That'll do. A little rush. Do a set of chest flies. But yeah, people love to crap on guys juicing. And it's like, again, juicing doesn't make the effort any easier. It just makes it more productive when you put in the effort. I don't do steroids because I don't want to. I take pride in being natty, but also because I would get fired if I did use them. My job is regular tests for basically everything under the sun. It's one of the negatives of living in the nuclear industry, so I can't fuck with any of that stuff. King Nick, you'll get your double fist bump in a moment. I'm kind of in the middle of something here. Two. Oh. 8. Oh my God. Come on. 12. Not bad. Living in the fish islands, caught in the camera eye. I have no heart to lie. I guess the strangers along the weighted frame. All the world's a need stage. We are merely players, performers and portrayers. Each another's art. The pump going boom and boom. There's your fist bump, and I need water.
Pump's going all right. Got a whole hell of a lot more left to do. Let's see, so we're gonna do shoulder press after we're done with all this, and then triceps extensions and incline press. So we're going to move this up, move this down. This is one of the benefits of having just reserve excess strength. Right, I don't have to take the weights off to re-rack. I can just clean it. Nice and easy. We must put aside the alienation, get on with the fascination, the real relation, the underlying theme. All right, so we got one more set of skull crushers to do, one more set of Arnold press to do, and one more set of chest flies to do. Hey, Hoda Rocket, so sick rev emotes, thank you. I'm, as you can imagine, quite the big A&M fan. Oh, wow, we got 35 people in here. Lionel Machado there. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try Arnold press reversed. I want to see if y'all can see the backs of my shoulders a little bit better here. That might be a fun, a different way to do it this time. Let's do that. That should be fun. What song do we want? Yes, let's go for a little rainbow. Man in the Silver Mountain. Dun 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 dun. Dude, Ronnie James Dio and Richie Blackmore in the same fucking band. Legendary. All right, here we go. Yeah, these are Arnold presses. You start at a supinated grip, which is underhand. You finish at a pronated grip, which is overhand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Six. 8. One more. Silver Mountain Man. Hope Ja Morant learned a lesson after losing to the Lakers. I don't care about the NBA, and I won't until the Washington Wizards return themselves to their original, far more base name of the Washington Bullets. Lift my spirits higher. Someone screaming my name. Come and make me holy again. I'm the man on the Silver Mountain. All right. All right. So this has a set of 11 here, and one more set of skull crushers. We're done with those. That back is shredded. Juan, thank you very much. It's actually my weak spot. I think my lats are not proportional to my chest, my shoulders, and my traps. I think it's very well defined, but that's because I don't have a ton of body fat on me right now. I don't think it's not as big as I'd like it to be. What I really want to do, right? You've seen them, the guys with the fucking butterfly lats and butterfly delts, and I do not have that right now. That's my biggest weak point, and I'm honestly a little insecure about it. It's okay to be insecure about things as long as you own up to it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah, come on.
Too far back, my head was off the bench. 2, 3. Ooh, that did not feel good on my elbow. Easy. Slowly. 7 better. 8. 9. 10. 11. One more. 12. Not bad. Back is looking great. I appreciate that. All right, so where are we at now? We've done 7 sets of chest for, this will be our 7th set of tricep, and we've done 6 sets of shoulders. All right. So we're moving. Slow, but we're moving. Speak of Tatis, if you get ringworm, use Blue Emu or Lamaze. God. I love you in chat sometimes, Big Red. You make me laugh. Let's do one more rainbow song. Let's do Street of Dreams. That's probably my favorite rainbow song. I love the music video too. All right. Skull Crushers, let's do this. And I know, I'll talk more about that if people are interested. See where the chat takes us. By the way, if any of y'all know a good wood chipper service, a place to rent out a wood chipper around Augusta, Georgia, please let me know, or Aiken, South Carolina, because I've been doing some yard work, and I have a shit ton of extra wood in my yard that I don't really know what to do with, and I just don't feel like burning it all. So, yeah. I've seen this face before, and you standing by my side. I've seen your place before, and I just see what I wanted to see. I know it's a mystery. Do you remember me? Oh, the street of dreams. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Come on. 11, 12, 13, 14. And one extra, I suppose. Maybe this fantasy is real. Now I want to see what I want it to be, but it's still a mystery. Do you remember me? On the street of dreams, running through my memory. All right, so now we got 4 sets of shoulder press left. Incline press on dumbbells. So we'll set that up. And triceps extensions. So I'm going to hit shoulder press first. See what we got here. My material is influenced by Tree. That's why I like you, because Tree's funny too. The fact that your back's getting any attention next to that bubble butt is proof it's looking good. Appreciate it. Hey, Zone, good to see you. Something's come over me, and I don't know what to feel. Let's try 155. Maybe this fantasy is real. Now I'm gonna see what I want it to be, but it's still a mystery.
Do you remember me? On the street of dreams, running through my memory. I gotta say, recently my turnout has been really great. Like, we've been having 25, 30, 35 people in here routinely, and I'm just so thankful for that. So just hats off to all of y'all in the audience for just being amazing like that. And I do remember one of y'all asked for 30 push-ups. Those will come, I do promise. A new PT recently has been putting me through it. Hell yeah, bro. Good for you. I could see myself being a PT after I retire. That could be a lot of fun. All right. So for this, we're doing military press. I want to try and leave my legs out of it as much as I can. I prefer military press to push press. Push press always, there's nothing wrong with it, but it always just kind of feels a bit like I'm cheating. So I try not to do that. Yeah, so we got, we're gonna do 155 on military press, so we'll probably D-rack and go to behind the neck. I think that's how I want to handle that. Yeah. Big Red, did you watch the dumpster fire stream last night? You know, because they were streaming the draft, and they'd bring Dodger on, and then I do shenanigans in the background. It's always fun. Your form sucks here, 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 and here. And he's drilling me on it. Fuck yeah, bro. Good. That's exactly what you need. Stay humble. Stay fucking humble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not bad. That felt pretty good, actually. How come I'm one of the best at literally everything? To truly find improvement, you first must admit that you suck. I suck at weightlifting, but that means there's always room to improve. Where in God's name did you get a road cone? That's actually Dodgers, which is why I placed it on her head. Nah, I know you're being sarcastic there, Cat Bro, but the point really does remain. To achieve greatness, you first must humble yourself, right? If I want to achieve butterfly lats, I must first spread my lats and accept the fact that you can barely fucking see them behind my big ass chest, right? You see them like this, but they're nowhere near as bulging as they should be. But I'm the best at, I can't. Thank you for censoring yourself. What's annoying is that this is an 18 plus stream, so y'all should be able to say nasty, like, not nasty, but R-rated stuff like that, but I can't take the risk. It's frustrating as fuck. What Twitch and Twitch doesn't like. That's the thing, right? So if I get in close, you can see just the edge, right? Now, it's harder today because I'm working push, so my chest is a little bit expanded, and I have been working my lats today, but you can only barely see my lats when I spread them. Try one more time. Yeah, see, you can only barely see my lats. And so I'm trying to work on that, trying to improve it. The journey is the destination in the gym. That's the best part. You never have to rest. Well, okay, you never have to pause. The lats are there, you're just blessed with massive pecs. The lats aren't as big as they should be. That's the thing, I want my lats to be proportionate with my pecs, and because I have really good pecs, I need to get really good lats. So, you know, it's a struggle. I failed at driving, but I got better. Look at me now. I drive from Kentucky to Tennessee and back. Yeah. You got a big red. Speaking of, you know, if
If you want to meet up with Tree and Five, they're going to be at the Burlington Sock Puppets game in North Carolina in June. Dodger and I will be there as well. Just a heads up. Here we go. Come on. 4, 1, 2. Yes, sir. You gave me fame. You gave me power in your God's name. I'm every person you need to be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Two more sets. You behind the neck. Ask not what your country can do for you. What were we doing behind the neck last time? 7 and 9 behind the neck. We can beat that. Let's go for Cemetery Gates. Feeling some Pantera this morning. Pantera kicks all the ass. All right, here's a good question. Which is a better song that kind of has that start out slow vibe and then gets really fucking intense? Fade to Black by Metallica or Cemetery Gates by Pantera? There's no wrong answer here. Tell you what, Mods, can you make a poll for that? That'll be fun. Fade to Black or Cemetery Gates? I want to see how the audience responds. Big Red, Kareem, one of you two? Severus, if you're here. Oh no, I think Severus had to bounce. Alright. So what else do we have besides this? We have triceps extensions after this and incline press. And then we're good. Got fucking... Kareem, can you make a poll on Twitch asking the audience which one they like more, Cemetery Gates by Pantera or Fade to Black by Metallica? If you don't know how to do that, that's probably a mod ability you're going to want to learn to make. I love doing Twitch polls. I never do them because a lot of the times my mods aren't in here to do them. Big Red, if you know how, or Metal Machine, if you're in here, can you teach Kareem how, if he doesn't know? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Get up there! Yeah! That's 10. That's better. You mean Child of Time? I love that song, but actually, given the choice between those three, I'll pick Child in Time. You know what? I'm gonna listen to that after this song. Child in Time fucking kills. That's such a good song. Fade to Black by Metallica. Child in Time, Deep Purple, Fade to Black, Metallica, Cemetery Gates, Pantera. Well, as you took my youth and gave it all away. It's like songs that kind of start slow and then get really intense. I'm not listing Freebird because I think that'll skew the results. Believe the word. I will unlock my door.
So let's see, how many sets? I got one more set of shoulders, 3 sets of chest, and 3 sets of triceps left. Hey, morning, Wobbin. Welcome on in. Oh, ball of the yard. Couldn't agree more. I love Freebird, but green grass and high tide is next level. We'll have to do a southern version of this. Here. There you go. Here we go. I'm on. Oh, my shoulders. Whoa, dizzy. Okay, shoulders are cooked now. Ouch. Yeah, chuck that pole in there. It's actually good practice. I want my mods to know how to do poles. Alright, so how many reps am I doing on this? 12. Got it. Mate, good coffee variant for building. I don't do coffee. I'll drink tea. I know yerba mate has a stereotype for a certain group of people. I'd try it. I don't know. I have a giant canister of just basic caffeine pills from Amazon. 200 grams a pill, and they're 4 cents a pill. No coffee or tea will beat that. Hell yeah. You know, I'm gonna listen to Fade to Black now. I just listened to Cemetery Gates, and I'll finish it off with Child in Time. Let's go Fade to Black. By the way, my favorite Metallica album is definitely Ride to Lightning. What's the stereotype of people who drink yerba mate? I don't know if any of y'all are aware of political compass memes. I think they're pretty funny, but it's the stereotype of like the college liberal. I think that's the diplomatic way to say that. I've never had I'd try it. I always stay open-minded about shit, y'all. All right, incline press, last time at 70 dumbbells, we did, Jesus, sets of 14? All right, let's try sets of 15. That's gonna be hard. Fuck. I may just do the upper class left. Yeah. The people who shop at Whole Foods, that kind of person. You know, I'm just gonna do triceps extensions, and then, because I don't feel like constantly shifting the camera angles,
We'll do 2 more sets of triceps extensions, and then we'll do incline to finish her off. Dude, I love sushi. Nah, don't hate on sushi. Sushi's the fucking shit, dude. Especially if you go for nigiri or sashimi. The macros are pretty fucking solid. It's, you know, raw fish and rice and maybe some vegetables. And wasabi's really good for you. I will eat, basically. I mean, there's no kind of fish I don't really care for, like shit. I have a giant box, like 15-pound box of frozen catfish in my freezer. My roommate is out today. My roommate hates fish, so today is going to be nothing but seafood. There is nothing more for me. Need the end to set me free. Here we go. I don't know why I'm facing this way. Y'all can't see my triceps if I'm facing. What the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry, guys. Ag dumbass alert. What the fuck am I up to? Do better, Ag. Come on. Interesting. So, we got an even split between Fade to Black and Child in Time. Oh, I love pickled ginger. Would you eat a sushi and soup covered in habanero extract sauce? Duh, of course I would. I love habaneros too. Although, I feel like the habanero would overpower everything else. Oh, I love roasted salmon. Salmon's expensive here because I live in the southeast, so I don't get it. It's too far away. You know, you can get salmon in the northeast, or you can get it in the northwest, or Alaska. But here in South Carolina, it's mostly catfish. The catfish isn't as high quality of fish, it's a lot fattier, but catfish is fucking delicious. As long as you don't fry it, it's still pretty good for you. He's gone. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Last set on tries. Finish strong, finish strong. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Hook. Whoa, lost my balance. Nice. All right. Yeah, almost fell. That would have been bad. But it didn't happen, so you don't gotta worry about it. Triceps extensions are tough. That's probably about as heavy as I'm gonna wanna go. There's one where you don't need to really push it on weight. Triceps extension is more about reps and form. Do close grip bench if you wanna go triceps for strength or dips. All right. Those are 70-pound dumbbells. We're gonna hit another set. Feels weird balance-wise, but I don't have anything overhead standing up. For sure. But it's a good thing to get used to because if you ever want to do Olympic-style lifts, right? Clean and press, full body press, snatch, clean and jerk. You're gonna want that kind of balance experience before you start those. So standing shoulder presses are helpful for that. Military presses, behind the neck presses, those sorts of things. All right. 3 sets left to go, y'all. Then we'll head in. I owe y'all some handstand push-ups, and I owe y'all some regular push-ups too. We'll stretch out. Oh, I'm also gonna do my abs today. We'll knock down some protein. And we'll just have a good time in general. Oh. Ooh, yeah, my shoulders are getting sore. This'll be tough. There we go. Two, 3, 4. 13. Oh, God. All right. That was a little bit underwhelming. I was hoping for 15, but I think I'm pretty cooked. Just wanna look as hot as fuck. Aesthetic builders unite. Nah, fam. Balance, see, here's the other thing, right? Balance, more of those functional Olympic style lifts. Work all the auxiliary muscles that you're not gonna train, right, with things like machines and ISO workouts. Compound workouts are, in general, superior, if you ask me. We could agree to disagree on that one. All right, I'm gonna go with Child in Time by Deep Purple to finish it off. That is such a good song. That might be, and everybody thinks of like Fortunate Son, Soul Kitchen, you know, Run Through the Jungle as Vietnam songs, but like Child in Time by Deep Purple is a fucking amazing. Like that's the kind of song I feel like you'd be listening to walking through the fucking jungles, you know, trying not to get picked off by Charlie in camo. You're a mechanical engineer, why do you need to build strength? Well, on a functional level, for yard work it helps a ton, but more than that, it's the reason I lift, again, is at this point, it's multifold. Building strength, it's a good way to challenge myself. It's a good way to never be satisfied, keep that fire, keep that drive going. Mental health is another big reason. I won't lie, part of it's aesthetic, and yeah, aesthetic building's great too. I love looking hot, but that's not the primary reason I do it. If you're not lifting for yourself, I think you'll be less motivated to continue lifting long term. Youth is fleeting. Beauty is fleeting. Age hits everyone. Now, if you're male, in general, you peak a little bit later than if you're female. But if you're working really hard in the gym, regardless of what your gender is, you'll peak later. I mean, again, go look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he doesn't juice anymore. He hasn't in years and years, but he looks great, and he's fucking 75. You'll never beat some hydraulics. It's kind of mental health for me too. Yeah, for sure. After what Kevin did on the dumpster fire, make me won't drink again. I prefer speed over strength. Work hard, dude. Speed's really valuable too. Like that's the thing. I'll go running. I'll go, do other things and lift. I like the idea of being a Renaissance man. You kind of want to be able to be, right? None of us in this chat are ever going to be world champion #1 at anything. I'm sorry. There's 8 billion people and there's only 25 of us in here. It's just not that likely. The math would say we aren't. But it's a whole hell of a lot easier to be better than 95% of the populace at many things. Got a mayo shot with whiskey. That is disgusting. Part of that is aesthetics, though, because I'm a disgusting narcissist. As long as you're open, honest, and humble, you're not that much of a narcissist. Be willing to admit your flaws and all that sort of thing. Damn, 100% with the Jack of Trades things. Yeah, the Renaissance man ideal is what you want. Just starting to lift, wonderful hold a rocket. If you need advice, this is a great channel for it. Anyway, let's get some Deep Purple going. God, I haven't heard this song in a minute. Child in Time, off the In Rock album, 1970. People don't realize, right? I mean, these were Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin were the original unholy trinity. Throw in Uriah Heep and you have probably the 4 true pioneers of metal music from the early 1970s. That's where it began. I would argue Led Zeppelin 1, the first Black Sabbath album, really the first 2 because they both came out in 1970, and then In Rock by Deep Purple. And then Very Heavy, Very Humble by Uriah Heep. And Led Zeppelin, I don't categorize any of those guys as metal per se, but they were the rock bands that were considered metal in 1970, and they pioneered the way for the first true metal musicians. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, if you want to call Iron Maiden metal, that one is debatable. Metallica, Megadeth, and so on. All those guys will inevitably cite Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep, and Led Zeppelin as their big influences. It's always those four. Always. They were more hard rock than metal. From our perspective, yes. But if you go back to 1970, right, rock and roll at the time was considered the Beatles. It was considered the Rolling Stones. There's a huge difference between that and what Black Sabbath was doing. Like, go listen to the original song, Black Sabbath, by Black Sabbath. That is heavier than anything else at the time by quite a long way. Slayer, yeah. For the ricochet. Oh, and yeah, Child in Time is absolutely a Vietnam song. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Ugh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, 13. 14. Ah! Whoa. Oh, I gotta hear you sing. Ah. I cannot do the Ian Gillan screech. I do not have the vocal cords for that. I have too much testosterone. I wish, man. That dude could howl like a fucking banshee. Bum, bum, bum. Same thing with like Led Zeppelin. I can't do a Robert Plant. Nobody can. Well, except for the guy who sings for Greta Van Fleet. He can do a Robert Plant. Sure, in a lift. Gonna go run in a bit, take a pic of the new Rev statue and send it to you on DC. Hold a rocket. If you're an Aggie, dude, please join my Discord server. We got a couple other really cool Aggies in there. I'd love to see you in there. All right. Okay, so my left headphone has this really annoying habit of wanting to continue to fall out of my skull. So I don't know why this is. Maybe it's just biology. It is not wanting to stay in. That's a little better. Hippie love was in the air and Sabbath brought their, yeah. No, the hippie era died with the first Black Sabbath album, for sure. If it didn't, Kent State Shootings did that. I've come to find Purple's Burn Goes Hard when behind the wheel. Makes you want to say, fuck the MPG type song. Absolutely. That's a great song too. And that's where David Coverdale of Whitesnake got his start. So Ian Gillan split from Deep Purple in 1973, and they recruited Coverdale to be the singer for Burn. Now Coverdale didn't last with the band, but Burn was a damn good album. I've watched the movie Jesus Christ Superstar. My gaming handle is usually Agmemnon. People call me Aggie. Does that make me an Aggie? No. You gotta understand the traditions and all the other weird shit we do at A&M before you can call yourself an Aggie. We'd love to have you, but like you gotta know what, like A&M, like Aggies, we're strange. There's no way getting around that. But, or not the album, just the song itself. Well, the song's great too. I have the song as well. I do have a small cadre of recorded songs on my phone downloaded because whenever I go work out at the site, I don't have any service, so I gotta use what I've got, you know. I think I get a workout, have a great workout. Thank you, U2 Zone. Well, this is our last set, so we got handstand push-ups after this. Stick around, y'all. We're almost done. 2, 3, come on. 3, 4. 12.
13. That's it. Oh! All right, we're done in here. We're gonna move to the inside. We're gonna get our protein on. We will handstand push up. And we are lightheaded. Holy shit. Calling Agamemnon Aggie sounds like a good way to get yourself a brutal death in ancient Greece. No kidding. Listen, I'm in Utah surrounded by Mormons. No strange. Funny you mention that. Gotta hump it and bug down, do other rad ass stuff. You better believe it. Hey. So, actually it brings me to something. There's an old, hey, what's up, Orano Cristiano? Welcome on in. Thanks for the follow as well. So for those of you who don't know, there was an interview done with an ex-CIA officer at one point, and he was asked, in the military and intelligence community, what secret groups of societies or what groups of people have way more power than you'd expect? And his answer was Mormons and Aggies, and there's a lot of truth to that. The reason being, well, Mormons have... Oh, Dodger, are you fucking kidding me? Did you lock the door? Why did you lock the door? The door is very clearly locked. Yeah, it's all good. Let's say, I mean, you had to have locked the door because it's not physically possible for me to have done so. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. Whew. All right. So let's talk, y'all. This is the Q&A section of the stream. Actually, no. First thing I'm going to do is do them handstand push-ups because I owe you those. Then do some regular push-ups because I also owe you those. And then we'll Q&A. Actually, no. What I'm going to do, Dodge, if are you streaming today, tomorrow, something like that?
Tomorrow.
Would you like to tell the audience? Because I got to pee.
All right.
This is my roommate, y'all.
So, yeah, after... I'm not going to be streaming today because I'm going to be in Columbia tonight for a gala, which I got to start getting ready for. But tomorrow, maybe him and I will do some more Mario Party. Or maybe Mario Kart. What do y'all think? Kart or party? Could be really fun.
No, carry on, carry on. Is there anything else you want to tell them?
I don't know if any of y'all paid attention to the draft the past couple of nights, but I am not happy with the Eagles' first pick.
How do you feel about their other picks?
I have no problem with the other picks, but I think Jalen Carter was a gamble we did not need to take. So I have a feeling all that drama is going to come back and bite us in the ass.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why I was so mad when they took him.
You were straight malding last night.
The other
night, yeah.
And then I got pissed when Pickens and Smith went to teams that were not Philadelphia.
I mean, hoping for your favorite college team to get drafted by your favorite NFL team is a way to make yourself miserable because the odds of that are just really low. I mean, just mathematically speaking, there are 130 FBS teams. So even ignoring all the FCS and D2 guys who get drafted, 130 FBS teams, 32 NFL teams. You can do the math there to figure out the odds are very low, well below 1%, even for the entire all 7 rounds. So that's what was in my toes. Anyway, who wants some handstand push-ups? Don't math us. I will math you. I'm an engineer. I will absolutely math you. Odds really low. Yeah, although the Titans fans, Big Red Fro, he got Levis. So the Titans fan, where the Kentucky guy, you do the math, you're the ME. Fair enough. Oh, okay, so I did something smart today.
protein shake. I refrigerated it. Tastes so good. Yeah, I made it beforehand instead of doing it here, making a giant mess. That was 100% the move. This is so much better refrigerated. Tastes like a milkshake. It's pretty good. All right. Okay. How on point is your proofing? You mean like doing mathematical proofs, or what do you mean by proofing? All right. Let's go ahead and do the handstand push-ups. God above. My shoulders hurt like hell. So don't expect me to do more than 5 or 6 of these. I'm going to try. Put your shoes on the shoe rack. Thank you. Gonna move this out of the way. There we go. Oh. Got something on your lip, probably. Milkshake. Oh, KJ's, I guess you're getting free advertising today in the corner there. All right. Handstand push-ups. Here we go, y'all. Oh, gotta move the mic. Get the mic out of the way. My bad. Do them one-handed. Shit. Cat, bro, that sounds like an awesome goal. I should try to learn how to do that. First off, I need to learn how to do them without touching the wall. I can rattle off like 1 or 2. Just balancing myself, but I still haven't quite cracked the code on that. Balance is hard when you're doing those, because if you'll notice, like cheerleaders and such, they'll split their legs when they do those and all sorts of stuff like that, and splitting the legs give you a lower form of balance that allows you to be a little bit more stable. Anyway, so handstand push-ups. Let's get some hype in chat, please. Thank you. God, my shoulders are so sore. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yep. So if you like what I do, you want to see more, consider hitting up that Discord link. Oh, nope. That's all I got. Oh, God. Yeah, my shoulders are absolutely dead right now. Oh. I'm sorry. I know it was only 4. Oh. God above. That's really hard. I'll do that set of 30 push-ups in just a moment here. Let my poor shoulders are absolutely shot right now. Huh. Interesting. By the way, how has the stream quality been for y'all? Has it lagged at all? Has it been, cutting in and out? Any like pixelation, stuff like that? I just want to make sure the quality is good. I'm seeing it bounce from green to red a little bit, and I'm wondering why that might be. Okay, come on. Get up. 30 push-ups. Hey, what's up, Allie? Good to see you. Come on. 1, 2. Sound of the video is out of sync for me, but I just reconnected and it was fine. Okay. Good stream quality, but it cut out about 6 times for me, but who knows. Interesting. Yeah, because I think it might be cutting a little bit. The Alley Bagel says, hey, welcome. Excuse me. Welcome on in, Allie. All right, let's hit this. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep. It's 30. Okay. I do have abs to do as well, but we're going to take a hot minute and relax and talk, do our Q&A a little bit so I can recover. Yeah. Allie got a sick new tat. Can't wait for you to show it off in the Discord. Lol's hairball. Yeah, something like that. Whoa, okay. Dizziness kicking in now. Let's go ahead and turn that fan on. Get a little bit of airflow in here, ventilation. Howdy, Bo. Good to see you. Something still in my foot. There we go. You're not really moving when you do push-ups. Instead, you're pushing the whole earth up and down. Are you a physics major by chance? Because if you are, I'm not getting into that debate with you. That sounds like some shit. There's only two kinds of people who make that statement. Stoners and physics majors. And also sometimes stoner physics majors. There we go. Oh, my farmer's tan's only going to get worse. We're hitting the summer months here in South Carolina. And it depends on the system of reference. Exactly. Exactly. There's little bits of protein powder stuck in here. I'm trying to get them out. No, electrical engineering is far more useful than half stoner, half physics. I was half joking, but there's some truth to the laws of motion. Yes. Bo Christian says howdy. She's busy playing a game of some sort. I don't know what.
Hey.
All right, so I'm gonna do a little stretch and we'll do some abs because I still owe y'all abs. Actually, I owe y'all 2 sets because I did not do my last set yesterday. And I think for those of you who were here yesterday, y'all understand why. It was really, really painful. Yesterday, that was one of the harder leg days I've had in a long time. That was a ton of volume. It was only 8 sets, but it was 145 reps. 3 sets of 15 and 5 sets of 20. That just about killed me. Like, that was really tough. I went for a multi-mile run after that. Stretch out. All right, touch toes. Hey, Alley Bagel or Demon of Peck Mounts. Sure thing. Let me do a sumo stretch. I'll do the splits and then I'll bounce the pecs. Handstand jumping jack. Is that even possible? Dude, if you could do a handstand jumping jack, you are... That is absolute king behavior. That would be fucking insane. You'd have to have incredible shoulder... Like, you'd have to be... Dude, you'd have to be able to shoulder press, like, more than 1.5 times your body weight to do that shit. That would be wild. That would be so hard. That's basically what you're asking is, a handstand jumping jack would be like doing a clap push-up handstand. That would be so fucking difficult. Shit, I kind of want to learn how to do that. My shoulders are nowhere near strong enough. I'm too heavy for that, for my shoulders. 32 people in chat. We already did handstand push-ups. You missed them. I like watching Veritasium videos for physics. Welcome on in, Bowser. Good to see you. All right, let's do splits. Hey, Endless Nightmare, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, Bo, you missed it, I'm afraid. I'll consider doing a few more if we hit like 50 people in here, but I doubt that's gonna happen. Anyway, I got a whole mess of abs to do. Oh. So we'll start with our odd day abs, because those are today's, and we'll make up yesterday's. Oops. We're gonna lay down our t-shirts so that way every rep doesn't make farting sounds, because that just gets really annoying, really old. And we're gonna pull this back because I'm off camera. We're gonna tilt the camera down a little bit more. Right. Hey Severus, busy replacing a ceiling fan, very nice. Been lifting for years, really the last 5 years I've been quote unquote lifting. I was actually not just doing the reps, but pushing and limiting, lifting to failure. Makes a big difference, absolutely. Did you do the pec bounce for Allie? Not yet, was just about to. Bump, 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 bump. There you go. But no, Severus, you're right. It's so. What is Dodger playing? I have no idea.
Binding of Isaac.
Oh God, you're back to that game. Yeah, she's playing the Binding of Isaac. That game's fucking creepy, and I don't understand your fascination with it. It's weird.
It's a completionist thing.
Of course it is. All right. Is that actually the way I want to be doing this? No, I want to be on this side. Need to tan the chest to match the arms. It's just not going to happen. I do too much yard work to where the arms will always get more sunlight than the chest. Traps popping. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, there's a lot of truth to what Severus is saying there. With training to failure, right? The basic principle of bodybuilding and lifting weights and getting stronger is called progressive overload. And let me know if y'all can't hear me down here. If I'm too quiet, let me know. But progressive overload is pretty simple. It states that you need to lift to failure every so often. Not every workout. If you lift to failure every workout, you'll probably get an overtraining injury. But in general, you need to continue to load heavier and heavier till your body can't take it, and then feed it enough protein to where it can recover, repair those muscles so they grow. All right, first set of abs. Oh my God. Just lifting my arms up above my head right now hurts so bad. My shoulders are cooked. Okay. That's not an excuse. Ugh. These always suck to do after knocking down a protein shake. 50. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. Oh! Oh, God. My abs. Oh, I can feel them. Use some fake tanning? Absolutely not.
He's not from New Jersey.
1, I'm too white for that shit. 2, yeah, I'm not from New Jersey. 3, that's just vanity. My summer goal is to be a cute chicken nugget. Good luck with that. I'm not sure that it's not a goal, and here's why. It's not quantifiable. You can't quantify cute. Therefore, it's vague and hard to achieve. Shirtless yard work? Hell no, not down here. This is South Carolina. I would turn into a steak dinner for the mosquitoes if I did that. It's my goal. You can, look, all I'm saying is a good goal is quantifiable. If you can quantify cuteness, by all means, do so. But a lot of people, can't. All right, let's do next set. Bicycle setups. 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4. 8, 9. 30. 40. 50. 60. Set up. You don't have to go orange or too dark. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You want to see them abs though? If I want to see them abs, I'll just continue cutting. The best way to see damn abs is to lose dat body fat. Simple as. All right, third set. And so I will say these abs exercises I do, they help, right? Ab exercises will be the difference between seeing ab definition at 10% versus seeing it at 12%. However, if you're above 15% body fat and you can't see your abs, it's because you need to lose fat. For women, this is more like 20%. In general, body fat percentage numbers for men, you can add about 5% too if you're female because the breasts are naturally composed of mostly fatty tissue, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is a physiological difference between the male sex and the female sex. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do some Russian twists. Christy, use your channel points. That's why they're there. Is it better to do this exercise fast like you do? I see people in the gym do it much slower. It depends. There are benefits to both. One works a little bit more cardio. Some guy saying, why do ab workouts if you don't lose the weight first? You won't see your abs until you do that, but core strength is very important. So for me, the biggest reason I do these abs is, yes, it's supplemental to core strength. If you want to squat heavy, or if you want to do deadlifts heavy, you have got to have a strong core. That is non-negotiable. If you don't, you will find that you hurt your back, almost always. Because your core will give out, your back will hunch over, and that's when a squat or a deadlift turns into a good morning, typically a weight far too heavy to be doing a good morning with, and you will be in a lot of pain. I'm not talking about the good soreness kind of pain either. I'm talking about you fucked up kind of pain. Definitely important to keep your abs strong. Now, squats and deadlifts will also work your abs as long as you're doing them correctly. If you're doing squats, you should have your abs tight and firing off just as much as you have your glutes, your quads, and your hamstrings firing off. But you can do abs as good supplemental work. It's better to do this exercise fast like you do. I see people in the gym do it much slower. Again, it really does depend. It's your choice. I do them quickly just because for me it's like a daily sort of exercise thing, right? I'm not trying to build like strength in my abs. I'm just trying to keep them ready and able to fire off and go boom, 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 which is important if you're repping high volume squats, which is what I was doing yesterday. Why is A&M Fit AF? Because it has a strong core. Yes, sir. Whoop. I slept in. Can you bench again? No. Bruh, dude, my shoulders and my chest is fucking cooked. I'm dying, man. It's killing me. I will do another set of abs, though. That'll complete my first set. We'll shout out Lab Boys on the YouTube. Yo, Lab Boys, you got any new videos coming out? Core is an everyday thing for me. I would agree with that. Work your core every day. You don't have to go obscene with it. That's the thing. Like core, you can do a little bit of, and that's enough. Oh. If you want defined abs, you have to cut body fat. But if you want a strong core, squats, deadlifts, and occasional core exercises is enough. All right, 1, 2, 3, hoop. Keep the legs straight. Oh, it's so hard. My legs are so sore. 1, 2, 3, 4. 51, 2. Okay, it's the first set. That's the odd days abs done. Now we got the even days abs left. I'll do those in a little while. I do dips on rings and then leg lifts that way. You're just stabilizing the ring the whole time on like bars that don't move. Dude, I love rings. You can do tons of really good really good exercises with rings. Not just dips, lats in particular. Lats are terrific to hit with your rings. Unfortunately, I don't really have the setup at my home gym to do much with rings. It's just too simple a setup I have there. In the future, this is something I've talked about, especially if I go for the retirement and then the van life route. What I may do is, depends on if Dodger's still here. I'll let Dodger rent out the place at well below market rent. Do it with the caveat that, hey, I can come home and just hang whenever I want. Oh my goodness, 39 people. Welcome on in, everybody. Shit. If we hit 50, I will do another set of handstand push-ups. Fair? That feels fair. Sprinter camper van? No, not the Sprinter. Express. A high top conversion on a Chevrolet Express is far, far cheaper than a Sprinter. And you can find a diesel Express that gets 30 miles to the gallon. Snow Bunny, welcome on in. Thank you for the first time chat. But yeah, dips are incredible. Any ring exercises are fucking incredible. Hey, Kareem, thanks for the alert. Appreciate you sticking around, and thanks for setting up that poll earlier. But I will do a shout out. The problem is I can only shout out Twitch people, but I will shout out Lab Boys TV on YouTube up there. He always has good shit coming up. Drop a link. Dude, drop something in my Discord. Whenever you've got a video up in the self-promo channel, because I will absolutely rep that shit. Lab Boys is one of the homies. And I've seen him fucking literally KO some Australian cunt who was talking mad shit about America. And that always makes me proud. For that, salute you, Lab Boys. Hey, look, he talked shit and he got hit. He fucked around and he found out. Do not mess with the Stars and Stripes, motherfucker. Hell fucking yes. Lab Boys, I need to have you on as like a guest at some point. I wonder if I could do that. There's no reason I couldn't. Yeah, I need to have you on as a guest at some point. Just like we can talk mad shit like that. You were on for the Truth or Drink stream on my private channel a while back. Speaking of other cool shit Lab Boys has done, I need to get this tower up and running for tomorrow because tomorrow's our rest day. And I'm going to try and actually take that more seriously than I have been. All right, so we got 41 in chat. We need to do a workout when you come to Texas. Fuck yes. Okay, this is the other thing I wanted to talk about. So trips coming up, all right? This is for those of you who would like to meet up with me in real life. You will get the opportunity. And I know a lot of people are like, wait, so you'd actually want to meet up with some of your fans in real life? Hell yes. You can say, oh, that's a little bit sus, but it's the vast majority of the time, it's a whole load of fun. I will be in Boston, Massachusetts the first week of August. I'm actually going to go to a Red Sox game. I'm really stoked about that. I get to go and see Fenway. I will be in Washington State probably somewhere in mid-August. And I'm hoping to be somewhere around the DFW metro area. Maybe late October, early November. Still working out a date. But abso-fucking-lutely, I definitely want to... So I moved here, right, to my current location in South Carolina from somewhere around DFW. Do you come to New York sometime? I have never been to New York City, but I do know there is one part of New York City, the best part, truly the most excellent part of New York City that I am so excited to visit. Staten Island is just supposed to be just the most wonderful place in the whole wide world. I can say this because Kareem is lurking and he won't hear it. Oh my god, host a mud run. Fuck, that's a good idea. Shit, Snow Bunny, that's a really good idea. Mud runs are fun as shit, man. Like, are you talking like Spartan runs? I've always wanted to do one of those. Now, the only part of New York I've been to is Western New York, and I really liked it, but that's because I was there in July. I think if I had gone there in January, I might have come away with a different perspective. I don't actually mean that about Staten Island, by the way. I know nothing about New York City, but I know all the New Yorkers love to shit on Staten Island, so if you say anything nice about it, they all get super pissy, and it's hilarious. It's always fun to do that. If you say anything nice about Upstate, anything nice about Buffalo, or anything nice about Staten Island, and especially anything nice about New Jersey, New Yorkers get so fucking heated. It's hilarious. Long Island is supposed to be beautiful. Long Island is supposed to be beautiful, but it's also fucking expensive. What the fuck? Like, some of the taxes and shit, and the cost of living, like housing prices out there. Jesus Christ. All right, let me do my even day abs. We'll do a couple of those, and then we will do a little bit more stretching and more Q&A. So if you guys have questions, hit me up. And if we hit 50 viewers in chat, let me know, because I will do more handstand push-ups. How do you not chop your head off with the fan? However, you had a close shave on the side of your hair. Funny. And the people are so lovely. Well, I wouldn't know about that. You want to talk about the friendliest? There's only two parts of the country where I think people are genuinely the most friendly. And it's a fight between the Deep South and the Midwest. And particularly the Upper Midwest. People from Wisconsin are really fucking friendly. Oh, alright, 6 inches. Now, if you don't know what 6 inches are, it's the simplest exercise in the world. You literally need no equipment. You lay down and you put your heels up 6 inches off the ground. That's like 15 centimeters for you metric people. That's it. And you just hold it there. Don't bend your knees. You can feel your abs working. Whoop. Come on, 30 more seconds. And we'll switch to a plank. got mosquito bites on my ankles. Have not been eating enough garlic is what that means. Pro tip, by the way. Eat raw garlic and mosquitoes will leave you the fuck alone. And plank. Keep an eye on that viewer count, y'all. If we hit 50, let me know. I can't really see the camera from here, so I don't know if my form's off. I think it's pretty good. My butt's not sagging, nor is it arched. All right, 30 more seconds than side planks. 20 more seconds. Come on. No quit. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side plank. Three, 24, 25. Come on. 2, 1, and switch. Oh. Okay, come on. Finish strong, finish strong, finish strong. Ten seconds. And rest. Nice. Oh. Wonder why we humans think muscle looks better than fat. Strange how it is when you think about it. No, it's not. It makes perfect sense. Okay? Try as a modifier 6 inches. Put your arms out and up in a similar fashion. First Muay Thai coach made us do that. Called them cross sits or something. That's a good idea. I should try that. All right. No, the fan is okay. So to give you an idea of what the fan is, right? I'm 6'3". The fan's probably at about 7.5 feet. The ceiling's probably, I can touch it. It's about 8 feet. Staten Island is where you used to have the garbage dumps where the garbage from the city was brought. I know, again, I've never been to Staten Island or any part of New York City. I just like saying that to piss off New Yorkers. It's just too much fun. So it's just trolling. All right, we got a lot of questions. Staten Island, former home of Beast Boy 112. Pour one out. Not actually going to do that because I don't want to clean it up. Wisconsin are very passive-aggressive. They've been nice to me. They offer you beer. Upper Midwest. Dude, Upper Midwest is... I've never been to Minnesota. Minneapolis in the summer is one place I would really like to go because I really love how Minneapolis... Actually, I'd like to do it in the winter too, cold though it may be. Because I love the fact that Minneapolis, with the Hoth-style winters they have there, is probably the most bike-friendly big city in the United States. Like, I love that. It's minus 20 and windy as shit and everyone's still biking. Hell fucking yes. Good on you, Minnesota. How long would it say to get to my current physique, or did I always work out? So I have been working out, lifting weights, and building muscle since 2008. That's 15 years. However, I only started taking my diet more seriously, that is tracking my macros, since about 10 months ago, summer of 2022. So let me go ahead and put in my protein. It was 340 calories, 56 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat, 16 grams of carbs. Anyway, but yeah, I've only started tracking my macros and getting serious about my diet, which is why you can see my abs since summer of 22. So the thing is, you can say, oh God, he's been doing this for 15 years. I'm never going to look like him. That's where you're wrong. One of the things I like to do in this channel is give you guys the tips and advice from all the mistakes I've made over the years. I have made so many errors. Like if I knew 10 years ago when I was in high school, or really more, 12 years ago when I was in high school, if I had known then what I do now, dude, I would be, it would have made a world of difference. It would have made an absolute fucking world of difference. But that's why that's part of the reason I've created this channel. I want to help you guys reach your goals. It makes my heart sing when I help and you guys send back positive stories. It's a good feedback loop. Next question. The lats are nice from this angle. Oh yeah. No, lats on side planks is definitely it's a good look for sure. Why humans think muscle looks better than fat. Strange how it is when you think about it. Yeah, no, that's not strange. It's perfect. It makes perfect biological sense, right? You got to remember, humans on an evolutionary scale, we've only been a civilized society for, a few thousand years, right? And we have existed in a more primal evolutionary state for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years. Getting back to Australopithecus and the beginning of Homo erectus, even the Neanderthals, right? In those days, we were hunter-gatherers. What does muscle signify? Muscle signifies that you have strength, you have physical capability, and that you would be a good provider, especially if you're male. If you're female, it helps too. But traditionally, in most roles in hunter-gatherer society, the men were the ones who went out, hunted, gathered food, and the women would either, gather berries or, take care of the family, provide for the home, things like that. This is prehistory, right? In those days, physical aptitude in the form of muscle was a very easy way to show that you were a very good hunter, that you were strong, that you could fight. And in those days when life was, to quote Thomas Hobbes, nasty, brutish, and short, muscle was necessary. And we still have those biological, right? We have evolved in terms of the technology and the amenities with which we've provided ourselves as a species, but our base instincts, our base evolutionary instincts, what our bodies are saying, what lizard brain is saying, so to speak, right, is still ooga booga, muscle good, fat bad. It's that simple. Yeah. No, Lab Boys nailed it on the head there. It's ingrained into our monkey brains. Do I prefer Minnesota or Poland by Lil Yachty? Between those two songs, Minnesota. Come up to Minneapolis in the summer. I'll take you to Target Field. Probably can't this year. I chose New England instead. But next year? Or whenever I go van lifing, totally. Mistake one, toilet cider. Lol. More shape and lines for eyes to look at. That's true too. Humans have really only been fat for the last 25 years. A little bit longer than that at this point. In the United States, where the obesity epidemic kicked off, it's really gotten bad since about the 1980s. And a lot of people say, oh, it's corn syrup, or oh, it's our sugar consumption. And yes, those things are too high. But the biggest problem is sizing. Go look back at the 1950s, right? Go look at some of the diets people had back then. People ate crap in the 50s just like they ate it today. The difference is the portions of the crap were much more manageable, much more reasonably sized. The other thing is we've become increasingly sedentary, especially because we've designed all of our infrastructure in the United States around the automobile, which was a fucking mistake. We should have created more walkable and particularly bikeable cities. The bicycle is one of the greatest inventions of humankind, and the automobile, much as I love it, has been one of the worst. But yeah, so you'd be a hunter, right, Ag? I mean, in the days of prehistory, most likely, I'm a male of decent physical capability. I would have had to have been. What would the other option have been? Well, at least some point, Europeans, fatter women as healthy as depicted in their paintings. So, women, yes. It's a little bit different. So, in the days where food was still very scarce, but we created organized societies based around agriculture, to be fat was to be seen as wealthy. So, in those days, yes, there was an exception, but times have changed. Now the poor get fat, to quote an Elton John song. But the point is now it's about muscle. It's about being physically competent. Can't fat people survive longer without food? I mean, sure, but if we're going back to the prehistory days, fat people are going to be incapable of getting it. The fit people will be able to get it. So, yeah, but meat planets. I use ham planets as a term there. That's probably politically incorrect. Okay. Big thing I want to talk about here. Don't do fat shaming, people, okay? Only do lazy shaming. Fat shaming is wrong. If you see someone who's 300, 350 pounds, however fucking fat they are, and they're in the gym and they're trying and they've got good form, maybe they're not doing a ton of weight, or maybe they're just walking on the treadmill, you fucking be positive to them. You encourage them. You help them if they need help, and you don't fucking judge them, all right? They're making a conscious decision to improve themselves. Now, what is shameful are people who are really fat making excuses for themselves when in reality the reason they're fat is because they sit on their ass and eat junk food all day. It's that simple. Now, obviously, okay, there are people who are disabled, can't go to the gym. There are exceptions. But you know who I'm talking about when I say people making excuses. The obesity rate in the United States is over 40% in some areas, including here in South Carolina. You can't tell me all of those people are disabled because I know they're fucking not, all right? Call it portion distortion. I like that. That's a good phrase. I'm going to try and remember that one. Need to replace all fast food restaurants. Most fried stuff has acrylamide, which is more likely to lead to inflammation than cancer. Disagree. They should not replace all fast food restaurants, but if you are going to expect me to pay more taxes for universal health care, I would like to see heavy taxes on junk food. That seems fair. If you're asking fit people to pay the health care for fat people, and in general, in the United States, the wealthier you are, which means you're going to pay more taxes, it tends to be that you're in better shape. Yeah, I want to see, if you're going to make poor decisions, right? Alcohol, cannabis, tobacco, junk food taxes, those are all voluntary taxes. I can get along with those a lot more. If you like a walkable city, visit New York City. I will give New York City a lot of credit. New York City is better laid out than any other city in the United States. The grid section of Manhattan and the forethought in the 19th century to place Central Park where Central Park is located was simply ingenious. It was brilliant. It's the reason New York can handle a lot of the pollution that it had in the early 20th and late 19th centuries, because Central Park acted basically as a giant set of lungs for the entire city. And nowadays, now that New York has cleaned up its pollution a lot more than even, compared to the 1960s or 1970s, air quality in New York compared to other cities at comparable sizes, Mexico City, Mumbai, of course, anywhere in China, is very good. So I give a lot of credit to New York City and the original designers in the 19th century who had a lot of forethought when planning it out. The other one I'll give a lot of credit to in New York City has been, at least in the early days, investing in their subway system. New York City is a place where, you really probably, it's not only can you live without a car, you probably should live without a car because it's an unnecessary financial burden. And I have a lot of respect for New York for making their city like that. Let's see, let me catch up. Fatter, but it's not necessarily healthier. Fasting increases longevity to an extent. There are some people that take fasting to what I would call absurd extremes. Like, if you can fast for a fucking week, more power to you. That's really badass that you can do that. But I'm not quite sure that's the best thing. Eventually, you get to a point where you're fasted for so long that your body starts breaking down muscle tissue, and that's suboptimal. Have you read Predictably Irrational? I've heard of it. That's one I should read. I will be right back. Oh, yeah, soda taxes. Huge fan of soda taxes. Soda is to your pancreas what tobacco is to your lungs, what alcohol is to your liver. Terrible for it. Pancreatic cancer rates have skyrocketed in the United States over the last 60, 70 years. Soft drinks are a huge reason for that. Same thing with diabetes. I will be right back. I do need to use the bathroom. So give me 60 seconds and we're going to come back. I will do a few more abs. I'll do some more push-ups. Did we ever hit 50 viewers in chat? Because if we did, I'll give you some more handstand push-ups. Be right back. Oh my God, I gotta pee. Too much water. The only thing about doing all this streaming is to continue talking all the time. I need water. Because I need water, I drink a lot of water, and then when I drink a lot of water, inevitably I have to pee. Although, if you get a chance, I would appreciate another pint.
All right, give me 1 sec.
Take your time. Twitcher Jeff 23, thank you for the follow. All right. Let's make sure we're back before I get started on the next ab sets. I will do abs next. Tell you what, speaking of followers, Twitcher Jeff being the newest one, we have been getting a lot of them recently. Like, we've been getting close to reliably 10 followers a day. That's fantastic. At this pace, we're going to rocket by 2,000 followers at the end of the year. That would be really neat because we hit 1,000 just about at the end of 2022. So we can hit 2,000 by the end of 2023. Maybe that's a goal I need to do. I won't really go too far with that yet, but that would be really neat. We're, I think, somewhere between 1,250 and 1,300. I think we're 1,270, somewhere around there. I think that's a woo from Snow Buddy. I'm going to go ahead and guess that means we're back. So I'm going to go ahead and get some abs started. Here we go. Oh, also, trying to get whatever the fuck is in my foot out of there. Definitely feels like something's in there. I think I stepped on something last night. Hockey puck growth BB. Hockey stick, rather. Yeah, actually, it's funny. You can see that if you go to I have something called Twitch. There's a website called Twitch Tracker where you can actually see where my stats match up to other people. You know what? I'm gonna show that off when I'm done with these two sets. I'm gonna show off Twitch Tracker, and then you guys can see the growth pattern right there. So here we go. Snow Bunny, good question. Dragon King, I'll answer that in just a moment. Let me do a set. Let's do crunches. Just basic. 3, 4, 6, 7. Come on. $60. All right. So, Dragon Knight asks, who's playing video games in the living room? That would be my good friend and roommate, Dodger of Zion. She's also on Twitch. I'll give her a shout out in just a moment. She's playing The Binding of Isaac, which is fucking disturbing. I don't understand why she's interested in that game, but she can do her. No, this is another really good financial, what I like to call life hack. Y'all can see the little financial independence timer right over there on my left. Or rather my right, your left. And one of the things that I really espouse, especially if you buy a home in today's era of elevated housing prices, is house hacking. Find a friend who's looking for a new change of scenery or line of work, the way Dodger was. Invite them down, let them find a job, and then they'll pay you rent. Dodger pays me rent. She loves her new job, at least most of the time, except for on the days where the water bills are due, then it gets pretty wild. She works in a local town as a clerk, and I would certainly say it seems to me like she's a lot, she can verify this, it seems to me like she's a lot happier down here, what she's doing now, versus the way her life used to be back up in New Jersey. Hell, she's actually going to Columbia tonight. Can I tell them about this?
Go right ahead.
She's going to Columbia tonight for this thing called the Beamer Ball. She's about the world's... I've never seen a more diehard Gamecocks fan than that woman over there. And she is going to this Gamecocks club event where it's like a gala for like charity auctions and shit. And she might be able to meet Shane Beamer, the Gamecocks head coach. Now, I have no strong feelings about the Gamecocks one way or another. They're a cool fan base in general. I have many strong and very negative things to say about the civil engineers who designed the infrastructure around Williams-Brice, which in itself is actually a really pretty cool stadium. But George Rogers and Rosewood, that intersection on game day is a special version of hell to me. But apart from that, yeah, USC is pretty cool. All right, here we go. 2, 3. This is, yeah, hang on, I'm going to do another set. I'm going to do a set of push-ups here. 2, 3. That's just 20. We're going to stick to that. Gotta be careful. I'm pretty sore. Let's keep answering questions here. Binding of Isaac is super popular. It's creepy. Prior to studying mechanical engineering, did I ever consider other engineering fields? Yes, I did. Ludu, looking more good and defined than ever. Good to see you. Hey, I'm glad you dropped something in here. Even if you drop an exclamation mark lurk, I love it when old faces show back up. How long would I spend working out per day? I would say my workouts generally range from an hour to an hour and a half. My leg workouts when I'm streaming, so when I'm streaming, I go slower because I'm busy talking to you guys. And when you talk while you're streaming, it means you're not breathing as deeply. It's just natural. It's how things work. And it takes you longer to recover. But that's worth it because I like hanging out with you while I work out and giving y'all advice. As for Dodger, the other reason I did this, right, now I've got, a great friend who is down here, but she's very reliable with the rent. And so I got my house at a really good interest rate before inflation started because I knew it was going to. Plus, I got a 15-year loan, which means the majority of my mortgage payment every month is equity. I personally view equity as a form of savings. Now, when you combine housing equity and the income I get from having a friend who rents, and before y'all say, oh, you're taking advantage of her, stop.
No.
Yeah. What I charge her in rent is below literally any other option she could find around here. Even a trailer home, right? So I charge her a reasonable amount of rent. Do you care if I say?
Go right ahead.
So I charge her about $500 a month in rent. And we split utilities, things like internet, electricity, water, the rest of that. But between that and the majority of my mortgage payment is equity every month. When you combine those two factors, I actually have negative housing costs. That's called house hacking, and I think it's a really underrated way to build wealth in this country. Not to mention, house hacking is a very good way to help do your little small part to erase the housing shortage that exists, especially if you live in an expensive city. Even though you are only 27, you have the mentality of a 47-year-old. I think that's a compliment. I'm going to take it as one. There's a reason I'm going to be able to retire at age 29, and this is one of the reasons. Prior to studying mechanical engineering, I did consider other engineering fields. So I wanted to do mechanical ever since high school. The biggest reason why is because it offered the best employment statistics and a decent rate of pay. I considered switching to nuclear engineering sophomore year, and funny enough, by the end of my college days, I wanted to go into the nuclear industry. But I'm glad I chose mechanical because mechanical is a lot broader. While nuclears will get paid a little bit more in their specialty, the U.S. nuclear industry is not in the best of ways. It's been neglected thanks to what I would like to call left-wing idiocy and right-wing malice. The fossil fuel companies paid, and this has been happening since the 1970s. The fossil fuel companies have paid left-wing environmentalist, quote-unquote, activist groups to demonize nuclear plants and try and make it more expensive to build them. This is one of the reasons I cannot stand Bernie Sanders, by the way. He's a massive fucking hypocrite here. If you are serious about climate change and you want to shut down the U.S. nuclear fleet, you have your head shoved up your ass. Get it out. It's just really fucking simple. But as a result of that, the United States has only built a precious few nuclear reactors since 1979 when 3 Mile Island happened. Oh, and by the way, nobody died in 3 Mile Island, okay? More people die every year, right? More people died every fucking year from falling off of buildings when they install solar panels or falling off of wind turbines maintaining them than nuclear power. Is Mr. Burns' propaganda against nuclear power? Absolutely. Matt Groening is one of the people most responsible for climate change in our modern era, unwittingly so, because he was unfortunately, The Simpsons is what most people think of when they think of nuclear power plants, and they think someone as stupid as Homer Simpson would ever be allowed near a reactor, much less allowed to operate it. And then on top of that, that nuclear waste is some mysterious green goo that you can see glowing out of thin metal barrels. It's not how nuclear waste is stored, people. Educate yourselves. You can ask me, and I'm very happy to talk about this all day long. In fact, I do many of the times I'm on the air. But the point here is that nuclear energy has been demonized, overregulated, and made artificially expensive. If any other industry in the United States had to deal with the regulatory burden that the nuclear industry does, the commercial nuclear industry does here in the United States, that industry would not exist. If you work in a nuclear plant, am I exposed to a little bit of radiation? The answer to that is no, I'm not exposed to radiation, and I actually don't work at a nuclear plant. This is something I tend to, there's a very limited amount of stuff I can say about my job. I actually work on the other side of nuclear engineering. I work on the other side of the nuclear industry, right? So there are two branches of the nuclear industry in the United States. You have commercial, which includes R&D, and you have that part of the nuclear industry. And, well, I was hoping, at my current site, I was hoping to do waste processing or environmental remediation, but that's not how the cards were dealt. So I work in the not commercial sector of nuclear, and it's necessary. It is a political reality that nuclear arms are necessary to defend ourselves from hostile nations that would wish to see our demise. North Korea is a good example of that. But at the same time, I cannot condone the current number of warheads we have. However, it's, look, there's a lot I want to say here, but there's a lot I also can't say here. So there's a reason one of my favorite songs to live to and to listen to in general is Peace Sells by Megadeth, and there's a reason for that, right? You're exposed to radiation by your light bulbs. You get more radiation by living within 50 miles of a coal-fired power plant than within 50 miles of a nuclear power plant. The reason for that is the coal industry gets a lot less regulatory burden, and as a result can dump things like radioactive fly ash out in the open. This has radioactive elements like cadmium and, funny enough, uranium in it. But, coal is good for American workers. Yeah, we dig coal. Coal power is good. No, fuck off. Coal should have been left in 1955. The second we had commercial scale nuclear reactors available for us to use, we should have phased out coal instantly from that point. My job is secretive in the same way, but within the healthcare field. One of the funniest things I get from healthcare people, and I won't argue that y'all's industry is heavily overregulated, is that healthcare people tell me, oh yeah, healthcare is the single most overregulated industry in the United States. And every time I hear that, I have to suppress laughter. I'm like, bless your heart, because the nuclear industry puts the healthcare industry to shame. Do you feel your training and experience would go to waste if you retire early? No. And there's a reason for that. I'm a mechanical engineer, which means I have a very broad range of skills. That means if I wish to do mechanical engineering for a charitable perspective, there's organizations like Engineers Without Borders. I can up and do that if I want to. But I get to make that choice. And that's what I really care about the most. That's why I'm going for early retirement. Freedom, to me, right, the one thing we can't buy of more on this earth is time. As a result, right, we have 80 years. If we're lucky, we have 80 years to live on this earth. So the idea to me that you would have to spend 40 of those 80 years, right, in a job doing the same thing for 40 hours a week for 50 hours a year, I reject that premise, because that premise is dependent upon the idea of living on the hedonic treadmill where you're running faster and faster and buying more and more crap and never actually getting ahead financially. Live far below your means and you'll find that you can retire well earlier than the average. The average American saves only 6% of their paycheck, and frankly, that's goddamn pathetic. Obviously, if you are making a below average salary, you're not going to be able to save as much as someone making an above average salary is. But there are plenty of people I know who make $100,000 or more and live paycheck to paycheck, and these people are wasteful. Anyway. Something John Prime and Mr. Peabody's coal train hauling paradise away. True wealth is when you're free to do what you want and enjoying life. Very well said, Snow Bunny. Are you helping Dodger with her financial goals while welcoming towards retiring early? Dodger's financial goals are a little bit different than mine. One of the things Dodger has mentioned a lot is going back to complete her education at USC, because she is, again, the world's biggest Gamecock fan. And one thing I will say is helping her get this job and offering her a place to stay with very low housing costs, it allows her to start saving up money for goals like that. Now, as a clerk in a small town, she does not make the same amount of money that I do as a highly trained engineer in the nuclear industry. But because the costs of living here are so low, she still has a savings rate 4 to 5 times 3 to 4 times what the average American has. You okay with me saying that?
Right.
Yeah, so she is still saving, right? She doesn't make a ton of money. She's not in poverty by any means, but she makes a pretty normal salary for rural South Carolina. But because she has figured out, she's learned a little bit from me, and she also has some basic good instincts, frankly. She's quite smart. She's figured out a way to save a very large chunk of her paycheck. Now, that amount, as the months go by, and that keeps piling up, she's going to begin investing. And when she does, in a few years, she'll be able to put that money towards either going back and getting her degree or whatever the hell else she wants to do. That's the whole point, right? You don't have to go full-on early retirement track the way I have. That's just a choice I've chosen to make. God's Blanky, welcome on in. Know your numbers? Yes, very much. Do math. I'm one of those. I made $200K a year at my last job. Hey, that's a lot of good money. If you guys want to know my salary, I'm very open about those details. What degree at USC? I believe you wanted to be a film?
Yeah, film.
Yeah, she wants to do film. She's super into like screenwriting and playwriting and stuff like that. Hold a rocket? Hell yeah, good vibes on this channel. Again, this is the same thing as fitness, right? I offer advice in all of those sorts of things. Now, I've told Dodger, I live in the Carolinas near Charlotte, making 50 to 60K, buying the land and building a small home. Hell yeah, exactly. See now, okay, so where I live, bought the land for 60K, cash needed construction loan for a home build. Not bad. I would say build a reasonable and affordable home. Absolutely. So, right, this house that I lived in was built in the 1950s, and it was an average-sized house for the time, which means about 1,000 to 1,100 square feet, okay? The average American house built nowadays is over 2,000 square feet, and the average American family size has fallen from 3.5 people to 2.5 people. So what that means, what that tells me is that Americans are requiring more space per person now for no obvious reason. Well, what's that going to do? Obviously, that's going to build more expenses. It's going to make housing more expensive. It's going to make housing density lower, which means there will be more traffic because you have a lot more cars on the road and all sorts of other negative effects. House hacking is an absolutely great idea. I strongly recommend it. It's a really, again, it's a great way to basically completely neg out your mortgage. You can negate your mortgage just like that, really. She doesn't, again, what she pays in rent isn't equal to what I pay in mortgage. It's about half. But I also am getting equity from my mortgage, right? A good chunk of the mortgage payment I make every month is equity. When you retire, would you want to stay in the same town? How many bed bath is your house? And if you don't mind a ballpark of the price range, I'd be happy to tell you this. And this is the one, okay.
This is a trigger warning for all of you New Yorkers and Californians. You may want to do the following. La 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 la. Okay, you have been warned. I bought this house. It is on almost half an acre with grapevines growing in the back. 3 beds, 1 bath, brick flooring, about 1,100 square feet, 2-car garage in a very nice, quiet part of town for under $150,000. Mm-hmm. People like to sleep on the rural deep south, and they do so at their own peril. Now, when I retire, would I want to stay in the same town? I might use this as a home base. It really depends. Shut up, half an acre, yep. If you want, I'll show you. Hey, Snow Bunny, get on the Discord. I'll show you pictures of my backyard if you really want to, if you don't believe me. But how did I find my roommate and tenant? She's just a really good friend. We've known each other for a while, and she had talked for a while about wanting to leave New Jersey, about wanting to get a new start, and she's always been a huge Gamecocks fan, a huge fan of South Carolina. I'm like, hey, I'm buying this house. Why don't you come on down here? I'll let you hunt for a job for a few months, and we'll see where it goes. And lo and behold, she's doing a whole lot better down here now. Oh my God, in Manhattan, a studio goes for $500,000. Yes, because that's Manhattan. It's the single most valuable island, the single most valuable chunk of real estate in the United States. If you want to live in Manhattan, more power to you, but you better be making enough income to justify living there. If you're not making 6 figures, don't fucking live in Manhattan. There's no reason to do that. You're not going to be able to afford it. It's the same thing if you live in San Francisco, right? You better be making enough money to justify living there. Couldn't afford to move out of mom's place. Yeah. So, okay. Again, if y'all want to hear, how much of my income I'm saving, my salary, any of that, you just let me know. I'm going to do another set of abs. Hey, Dodge, you over there? What? Hey, Dodge, while I do this set of abs, do you mind getting me a glass of water?
As soon as I'm out of here, sure.
Oh, shit, you're in the bathroom. Never mind. I'm just going to go get a glass. All right. So, I'm going to do another set of abs. We'll do a few more push-ups. Did we ever hit 50 viewers in chat, by the way? Because if we did, then I owe y'all some more handstand push-ups. Yes, no, maybe so. Maybe not. All right. Yeah, and again, New York City is an incredibly well-designed place, and the reason values for housing is so expensive there is because New York City might offer more opportunity per square mile than anywhere else in the world. But, unfortunately, we didn't hit 50. Damn. Well, I'll feel friendly and I'll just give it to you guys. I'm okay with that. I mean, shit, we could hit it real quickly if some of the U-Tree server got in here and just started hanging out, but for whatever reason, the U-Tree server loves to ping me about all sorts of stupid shit that happens in the draft. Remember, I don't give a fuck about the NFL and haven't for over 10 years, but for whatever reason, the U-Tree server likes to ping me there, and then I'm like, bro, if you want to come talk to me about this, like, I'm live on air for 3 hours in the mornings on the weekends. Come pop in. They never do. Whatever. That don't matter much to me. Come on, 38. $50.
push-ups, and then I'll do some more stretching. There you go. Well, fuck, people think northern New Jersey is just as cheap, but it's just as expensive. In general, I think Jersey City, Hoboken tends to be a bit cheaper than Manhattan, but it's not a ton cheaper. But again, the thing is, for almost every single job across the board, wages are substantially higher in New York City than they are anywhere else. So it really comes down to, what are you making? Could you make that for almost the same money in a lower cost of living area? You got to do the math. You got to do returns on investment. What do you value? Do you love living in the city? Can you live in a lower cost of living area if it means it's more rural? Right? I live in a town of less than 2,000 people, which is fine. I like it that way. It's small. It's quiet. I know all my neighbors, and if I wanted to, I could leave the doors unlocked. I don't because it's just better not to, but I could. Really, I could. Do you mind not having the TV on, or at least muting it?
That's what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
All right, I'm gonna do a set of push-ups, and then we're gonna do some stretching. We got more of this to come. You guys got questions? Keep peppering the chat with them. I'm loving this conversation. It's always good. You turning on the draft or something?
Yes.
It's noon.
Yes. It starts at noon.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah, my shoulder's getting pretty sore. We're going to punt on the rest of this for now. Let it recover. Isn't it boring in that small town? Less so than you'd think. So, okay. Let me explain a little bit about where I live. Also, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to have that on in the background because, yeah. Let me just try and we'll do that. There we go. We'll be over in this sort of corner area because that way the TV can't be seen. So you're good there. Isn't it boring in that small town? Less so than you'd think. Is it the most exciting place in the world? No, but I'm a homeowner. I get to spend a lot of time keeping this place well maintained. Again, growing all those grapevines in the back, harvesting them. I make my own wine. I cook for myself a lot. I want to, I work on my car. I keep things well maintained, and it keeps cost of living very far down. I like going out and hiking. If you're a hunter, this place is a paradise. If you like fishing, you can enjoy that down here. It really depends on, right? Fun is what you make of it. Moreover, between you guys and me, I do live in a rural town in the deep south. You better believe I have a moonshine plug. Come on. So, I can make, it's about how can you make your own fun, right? If you're bored, boredom typically represents a failure of imagination. I am never bored, and I never have enough time to get shit done. Not to mention, one of the best things about living down here in the sticks, right? One of the things I do that's really fun is this right here, hanging out with you guys, right? I have decent enough internet to where I can stream, and it's a ton of fun. I get to hang out with you guys all the time. It's fantastic. Please share the deets on salary, income saved, etc. You're definitely going to want to hit the Discord up for that. Just going to go ahead and, for more information, my salary, I make about $97,000, $98,000 a year. I save roughly 80% of my paycheck, and I live on under $20,000 a year. You remember, that's 98 base. That's not counting 401k match. That's not counting HSA match. That's not counting any bonuses or raises I expect to get this year. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Again, that's my secret sauce, right? It's not the salary. The salary's good. I mean, that's actually probably below average for a mechanical engineer with 6 years of experience. Most of the time, you're making six figs at that point. But instead of doing that, I've chosen a lower salary, but in a place where I can live like a king on 20 grand. And I live, really, I say 20 grand. I live more on, if you calculate everything, right now I'm on track for my yearly expenses for this year to be about $17,000 a year. And people are like, oh my God, that's below the poverty line. Wah! Yeah, as it turns out, the definition of poverty line is kind of fucked up in the United States. And most Americans spend their money on stupid shit like cable TV and other nonsense they don't need. Another great example of how do I keep my costs very low? Again, I keep my activities generally low cost. So going and hanging out with my buddies, going fishing, right? Going hunt. I don't hunt, but a lot of guys do, and hunting's a pretty low cost activity. Working on my grapevines in the back, composting, gardening, stuff like that. Is that including mortgage? So yes and no. I consider, and again, if you want to adjust, right? If you want to adjust what my spend is based on how you define it, that's up to you. I define mortgage thus. So in your mortgage, you have something called a PITI. That stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Principal is equity. That is savings, if you ask me, right? That's money. It's not a very liquid form of savings, but you are gradually buying and owning your house, right? So to me, the equity section of your mortgage payment is savings. Because again, it's money that you're slowly getting ownership of your house. I have a 15-year mortgage and I'm through about 1 year of it. So roughly 65% of my PITI payment goes into my principal. Interest, taxes, and insurance, those are expenses. So I break it down that way. And then you have to remember a large chunk of that payment is canceled out by the fact that I collect rent, which I don't define as income. I rather define that as a reduction in expenses because I'd be living in a house anyway, and I wouldn't find cheaper rent than my whole mortgage payment, especially when you factor in equity. So again, if you want to play the semantics game with that with me, you know, the worst possible way to frame it is I'm still saving well north of 70% of my income. The way I frame it, it's between 80 and 85% of my income most months, post-tax, of course, because you can't change how much you get taxed for the most part. You know, you can be a little bit clever with, you know, deductions and capital gains, but ultimately, you know, that's nibbling around the edges. You're going to get taxed. Although I actually was just wondering, thank you for explanation, of course. Although I will also say, one of the ways I minimize my taxes is I max out my IRA contribution. I max out an HSA contribution, and I max out my 401k contribution. Why do I do this? I do this because primarily it reduces my tax burden. When I go financially independent, I'm only going to live off of my basic needs, right? The only amount I'm going to withdraw every year from these accounts is enough to cover my basic expenses. Well, my basic expenses will be around $20,000. $20,000 is a lot less than I'm bringing in right now. As a result, my tax rate will be a lot lower when I'm withdrawing than it is now. As a result, it makes a lot of sense for me to fund an IRA, a 401k, an HSA, and grab all of those tax breaks now during my high salary years. Make sense? No, great questions, Snow Bunny. Great questions. Do we have any others? While we do this, I'm going to go ahead and do a little stretching. Oh, there we go. Block the TV so that way I can't get DMCA'd. It'd be really stupid if I did, but I don't trust Twitch and YouTube not to. Oh. Go ahead and spread the lens a little bit. We'll probably look to raid someone pretty soon here. Oh. Yeah. Let's see who we got live. I think it was Crash Override. I promised to raid to earlier. Let's see him in here. Is he live? Let's see here. I don't see him live. What are... Oh, the hookups. Yes, dating. Huh. So, I will admit, your dating options are not as good in a place like where I live than in a big city. That is true. And that is a compromise and a sacrifice I'm willing to make. But here's a couple things, right? And this applies better if you're male than if you're female. But as long as you're putting the work in to improve yourself, if you're female, the advice can still apply. Generally speaking, men's value in the dating scene increases until about the mid-30s. So as a man, you're more incentivized to kind of do what I've been doing, which is more or less punt my 20s on the dating scene. Pay little to no attention to it. I'll still use Bumble and check out, the big cities nearby, Augusta and Aiken. I'll go and, I'll talk to people there. Sometimes I'll even go on a date, but it's not that often, and it's not that important to me. I don't, in general, go much for one-night stands or hookup culture. It's just not my scene. I like to have some sort of intellectual or emotional connection with someone before kind of going down the sex route. It's just the way I feel about it. Sore. What else was I saying? Oh, as far as hookups are concerned, so for me, right, if I'm going to be able to retire at 29, and then my plan right now, the idea is I'm going to build out a Chevy Express or Ford Econoline or a van like that and do the whole van life scene and travel the country, right? I will be able to, by that point, I'll be independently wealthy. I'm still going to be 6'3". I'm still going to look like this, if not even better, right? I will be able to attract partners, and I'm going to say partners because I swing more than one way. I will be able to attract partners in my 30s very easily. Whereas right now, why limit myself to a smaller pool? So for me, it's like, I'll delay the gratification on this one. Explains the love for cuddles. I love cuddling. The trouble for me is that it's only a winter activity. It's a seasonal activity. Because of the amount of muscle mass on my body, I radiate heat, and that is not an optimal quality when you live in a place with a weather that could accurately be described as a steam bath for 6 months a year. It's South Carolina. It's just hot and humid most of the time. Chevy Express van builds, yes. Hey, George Fox, thank you very much for the follow. Would you do an EV conversion? Not on an Express because parts for an ICE engine are cheap. I would like to see, there's rumors that Tesla is building out a van. I'd be interested in that. But of course, knowing Tesla, that will be built on Elon time, which means I can probably expect to see that somewhere around 2030. So I'm not going to hold my breath. But you're kind of wasting your 20s? No, I'm not. I'm spending my 20s freeing myself for the rest of my life. I'm spending my 20s on self-improvement. Yeah, you can say I'm punting them or I'm wasting them. Am I really, though? If I'm spending them, right, what is more valuable, right? Partying for 10 years in your 20s or having freedom for your 30s, for your 40s, for your 50s, and onwards? If you really think the answer is short-term partying and pleasure, well, then you go whoop it up in your 20s and I'll see you. Here's what's going to happen. All that investing I've been doing in my 20s, that's all shares in broad-based index funds, which means I own shares in basically every single company, blue chip company in the United States. And what that means is everyone from the janitor to the CEO is working to make me richer. And if you partied in your 20s, eventually the music stops and you got to go and work as a cubicle slave or a cubicle jockey for the next fucking 30 years, you're working to make me richer for 30 years. Would I punt the first 10 years of my life to get those 30 or more? Yeah, you better believe I would. It's just it's just basic delayed gratification. Yeah, would I do an EV conversion? Probably not. Especially in rural parts of the country where national parks are, the charging setup is pretty poor. Dragon Knight, yep. Yeah, no, time is the most valuable thing. You can't buy more of it. The only thing you can do is preserve your health to try and give yourself the maximum number of quality years you can. And this is one of the things, actually, I want to talk about. This is a little bit of open exposition here. My father served in the United States Air Force for almost 30 years. He taught me a lot, and I miss him every day. But he passed away from a very rare form of cancer in 2020. It was not something he could have avoided. In fact, it took cancer 3 times to finally take my dad down. And the third time, was an extremely rare form that affected only war veterans and chain smokers. My dad did not smoke. What it taught me, though, is my dad, again, he served for almost 30 years in the Air Force and then did a lot of more fun, but still work, private venture capital kind of stuff after he retired. My dad only got 2 or 3 golden years of health before he got diagnosed. And, the diagnosis, the doctor said he had a couple months to live, whereas, he kept fighting for almost 2 years. But the point here that I'm making is that as much respect as I have for going that route, what that taught me in my 20s is it reaffirmed everything I'd been doing since I graduated college. It taught me that, no, nothing is truly guaranteed, but if you think you're going to, have those golden years guaranteed in your 60s, even if you're healthy, there's no guarantee of that. The likelihood is a lot higher if you earn those golden years in your 30s instead, which is what I've done. Or, now again, if you're not in quite the optimized form where I've gotten to where my salary is high and my living expenses are very low, you may still have you'll have a slightly longer career, but even if you save, just from getting out of college, if you save 50% of your income, which for a lot of people is quite doable, just as long as you're disciplined, you will be able to retire at 40, if not earlier. This is assuming slightly worse than average market conditions and a very conservative withdrawal rate of 3%. Because I've optimized things, and again, I chose my degree knowing full well that economically it was a good decision. Economics is actually probably my favorite subject, and had it been independent of realities of employment and salary coming out, I would have probably chosen economics in college. Instead, I chose it as a minor because I found it interesting, but I chose mechanical engineering as a major because it paid better and had better employment prospects. So because I did that, right, it's about the decisions you make. You make those good decisions in the short term. You delay the gratification. You do the right thing. And most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, you know what that right thing is. It pays off down the road. It's about building dividends. So there's another good example. Albert Einstein said it the best. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it will be a master of it. He who does not understand it will be a slave to it. And there's a lot of truth to that. Do we have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to look to raid someone. I was looking for... who was it we were talking about earlier? I think it was... I forget what the name was. There's a guy was saying I was going to give him the raid earlier, but it doesn't look like he's on the air. So I feel like I should be, but it was Crash Override, right? Yeah, it's Crash Override 415. Let me go look, make sure he's not on the air. Crash Override 415. Yeah, I'm following him. He's not alive, so. Eagles got another Bulldog.
Yep.
Y'all just drafting the entire Georgia. That's not a bad idea, because they're already going to have a ton of team chemistry. It's a really pretty solid idea. Maybe those guys can help keep Jalen Carter more accountable. But how about that? Yeah, no, Crash Override's not live right now, so we're going to look to Holderheck, Akrashi, Coel Runnings, or Seltzy. I think I'm going to raid Acro. Okay, so do we have any other further questions before we go? And I do recommend raiding or sticking around for the raid because you get channel points for that. And if you look at the bottom left corner, you can do all sorts of cool things, or rather make me do all sorts of cool things with a raid. So do we have any further questions? Going once, going twice. All right, so I will be live again at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do is my push-ups and abs, and then I might look to try and set up my computer and maybe play Minecraft or something like that. There was a time where I was doing hit workouts on Sunday, but I've gotten to the point where, hey, thanks for the first time chat, George Fox. I've gotten to the point where I really do need to rest on Sunday and respect the rest day a little bit more than I have been. So, yeah, we're working on that. Hopefully, this is the state of the computer right now. I think I need to go out and get myself a hard drive or something. There's a few other things I need to do, but we'll work on that. Anywho, so let's go ahead and raid. Do I want to raid Celtsy or Cole? Nah. I want to raid Acro. I want to see Acro. He's close to 75 viewers. I want to get him there. Let's go raid Acro, y'all. All right. So, once again, thank you all for coming out. Acro is really great. You want to talk about a guy who's got a lot of smarts. This guy's fantastic. Once again, thank you all for coming out. Make good decisions. Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values form an ethos that can be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Much love, y'all. Come in for the hug.